Alright, guys, so I'm just making them into smaller, more segmented videos. This one is about law enforcement, the way they operate, sort of as a general, in regards to lower class economic stature categories, lower class and poverty. So here's the thing. When it comes to law enforcement in these areas, because the system has put these residents, innocent residents, into such a chaotic, psychologically damaging, survival based, primitive, instinctual, and oppressed, discriminatory status, and they keep them there. These people often tend to have higher rates of, oh my god, guess what? Bad behavior. The reason they have bad behavior is because they have been treated like fucking shit their entire lives by the people who are contractually fucking obligated via employment and chosen career field, again, contractually obligated to provide the necessities of basic living costs and fucking safety. They are required to provide you with human rights. But they often find loopholes to deny those rights. Look, I'm not joking. It's really quite sad, actually. Okay, so in regards to law enforcement, quite often people in lower socioeconomic residential areas are policed by members of that residence. You know, so they are all psychologically damaged and everything I just listed, under so much stress and absolutely denied the acknowledgement of financial reward that they deserve. Everybody's being shat on financially, including law enforcement. Overworked, underpaid, currently fucking defunded. Look at Chicago. Right, so usually in regards to these residential areas, the police officers are usually forced to collaborate with, let's call them, well, the gangs, essentially, because they tend to be of the highest majority group authority. And the police and law enforcement officers in these residential places are often understaffed and under budgeted. They are. So, in order to maintain and establish a working ecosystem, let's call it, of these areas, they are required to source elsewhere. They don't have the manpower to take down or to go against a lot of these gangs. So they essentially become business partners. I'm not joking. Because in order to establish structure that removes chaos, it requires a large mass of um, capable individuals. And if the government is not providing the required amount of police officers, they're going to have to go elsewhere. And the police officers, sure as fuck, don't want to piss off these gangs and be overrun. It is what it is. So essentially, you have a bunch of corrupt law enforcement that are biased and oftentimes protected and funded by gangs of these residential places, which, by the way, the government fucking knows about because we've been screaming it from the rooftops for probably millennia. They don't care. They don't. If they did, they would have done something. Instead, what did they do? Further defund the police. Congratulations. Totally helped. Right, so in order for the civilians of these middle class, these lower economic and poverty ridden residential civilians of these areas, they learn to live a certain way also, which is essentially don't get caught. Because if the law enforcement in these areas are corrupt and accepting illegal benefits, you tell me why the fuck the civilians of these places would ever agree or just ever agree to living by a code of law that even the fucking law enforcement don't uphold. Seems a bit fucking hypocritical, doesn't it? So, essentially, it's guerrilla warfare, except often in regards to drugs and theft. If the government is turning a blind eye to this, which they are, tell me, what fucking choices do these civilians have? If drugs are the main source of income and aid of psychological damage, so medicine, if drugs are the main source of profit and self-medication, tell me why the fuck these people wouldn't take that opportunity. Because where in the world does has evidence to prove that they are the most negatively affected in regards to psychological regulation and development of neurological stability and health? It would be in the places that have been neglected, therefore forcing their citizens into survival mode, which, stated before, causes them to behave in certain ways. And why shouldn't they? Nobody cares about them. They aren't being helped. and they are asking for help. So that's that. It's normal. But the law enforcement still have to do their job. Okay? And it really is kill or be killed in a lot of these situations in these areas. Not all, but a lot. And usually everyone knows everyone because of gangs and shit. And there's not usually just one gang, there's like 3 or 4. They are like fully outnumbered. So, before you judge somebody with a mental health background like myself or a criminal background, maybe stop and think, when was the last time that they were incarcerated or detained in a that's incarcerated or detained, and has their behavior supported by actionable evidence? Meaning, if you don't have evidence to back up the fact that you're calling somebody a danger to society after being a model fucking citizen for a year, how about you shut your fucking mouth, cunt? Because you ain't got fuck all to back that claim. That is an opinion, not a fact. I recognize. Okay. Obviously, in regards to the mental health systems in these residential areas, by the way, are there's fuck all. There's like none, and the ones that are available are so overworked, so underpaid, and so fucking tired, and they are also in these survival modes of psychological damage themselves. They're basically useless. They're given no rewards, etc. Same shit, different day. So there we have it. The structure of the poor people's residential living. Alright, next one.